So I just finished taking the Comptia SecAI Plus exam, and I wanted to just hop on and give you my thoughts and insights on it. So I've taken Sec Plus before, and this was the second Comptia exam that I've taken. It was not as difficult in preparation or in taking the exam as Sec Plus was. It was not as much material to study for. And if you already have Sec Plus, which I would assume that you probably would, or would have some amount of cybersecurity experience before taking this exam, there's just a lot of information that you're already familiar with. Whereas if you're kind of going cold turkey into Sec Plus, not having done a lot of cybersecurity, there's just a lot of new. There's just a lot of new, and there's just a lot, just so much. You don't need to know nearly as many acronyms as when you take Sec Plus. Like I said, the amount of information that you get tested on is much, much shorter, or much more condensed, since it's specific to kind of one facet of cybersecurity or one facet of technology, which is AI. The test itself I found it to be the same in principle as when I took Sec Plus, in that I took several practice exams getting ready for this, and I would say that they were helpful, but none of them really mirrored the type of questions, and I guess the tone and how the questions are presented exactly the same as in the test. And obviously they shouldn't be exactly the same, but all of the practice exams felt similar in tone and in presentation, and then when you get to the actual test, the questions just felt different. And I that was the same as when I took Sec Plus. So maybe that's just how it works. There were performance-based questions, the PBQs on there. There were a couple of them, and they were not nearly as difficult as the ones that were on Sec Plus. And if you just know the material, you should be okay. I don't think I got all of them right, but you should be fine if you know the material and the different controls and what you need to know for SecAI. So the way that I prepared for this was I made a study guide, which I'm going to share with you all. If anyone's interested, you're free to use it. I'm going to put the link to it in the description below. I made a study guide based off of the requirements on Comptia's website for this exam. The only thing that I'm going to need to update, and I'll make sure I do that before I put it in there, is that the OWASP top 10 for LLMs was updated since the test was written. So the OWASP top 10 for LLMs made an update last year, and so my initial iteration of the study guide had the previous OWASP top 10 for LLMs on it, so I'm going to update that in the study guide. But I'm going to put that in there for you. So I studied that, made lots of review and quiz questions. I use Notebook LM quite a bit. If you've not used that, that is by far and away one of the best study tools. You can upload any material you want to it and have it turn that material into a video for you to learn from. You can have it turn into a podcast, which is probably one of my primary ways of digesting information, is listening to it when I run, when I'm driving. You can have it make quizzes, so I highly recommend you get that. It's very intuitive, very easy to use. I put the study guide into there. You can put the exam objectives into there and have it create podcasts or quizzes or whatever you want. So, and then I got onto a couple websites, did some practice quizzes. I've got access to Udemy for free, which is great. So if you're in the military, you should as well. And I didn't actually go through any of I take that back. I did go through one of the courses on LinkedIn, an actual instructional course on LinkedIn Learning. That went through the whole thing, but that was it. And side note, if you want to use some of the instructional benefits from LinkedIn Learning, you should be able to get to LinkedIn Learning for free if you have a library card. So there's a whole process for that. It's not that difficult. If you want to check that out, if you're wanting to get to LinkedIn Learning, you should be able to get to it for free without having to get LinkedIn whatever that is, Plus, LinkedIn Prime, whatever the one they hide behind the paywall is. So, but did that, and then went and found a bunch of those courses and just skipped over the material because I'd self-studied a bunch and I wanted to use them for the exams, practice exams. So I did probably 4 practice exams and was scoring, and I did them all within the last week or two, and was scoring in the, in the 90s. And so that kind of indicated to me that I felt like I was ready to take the exam. So overall, wasn't too bad. Was not as difficult as Sec Plus, and it's something that if you, kind of buckle down, I think probably honestly in a couple of weeks to maybe a month or two, depending on your prior level of cybersecurity knowledge and level of AI understanding, it should be should be just fine. So I hope this was helpful. I've not decided on what the next kind of educational pursuit I'm going to go for is, but as far as SecAI, it's in the books now, and on to the next one. Have a good day. Talk to you later.